The modern illusion of time. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else. That's what they tell you. But somehow, it never feels that way. No matter how early you wake up, how many productivity hacks you try, how many to-do lists you finish, you still end the day with that same quiet voice saying, "You didn't do enough." You try to manage time, but time keeps managing you. You think you have a time problem, but you don't. You have an attention problem, a meaning problem, a modern life problem. This is the myth of time management, and understanding it might be the only way to finally feel free. The false promise of productivity. We've been sold a lie that efficiency equals peace. That if we just optimize our routines, track our habits, and get more done, we'll finally feel in control. But the truth is, most people aren't trying to manage time. They're trying to manage anxiety. You're not chasing productivity, you're chasing relief. The relief of not feeling behind. The relief of not disappointing yourself. The relief of finally resting without guilt. But the problem is, the more efficient you become, the more tasks you attract. You clear your inbox, it fills again. You finish one project, two more appear. Productivity doesn't create peace. It creates capacity. And that capacity gets filled instantly, because modern life is designed to consume it. Time management doesn't solve overwhelm. It just teaches you to endure more of it. The industrialization of time wasn't always something to manage. Before clocks, humans lived by rhythm. Sunrise, sunset, seasons, cycles. Then the Industrial Revolution arrived, and suddenly, time became currency. Factory bells replaced nature's rhythms. Productivity replaced presence. And being on time became a moral value. Fast forward to today, and our entire worth is measured in output. We schedule, optimize, quantify, track. Our calendars look like blueprints of our self-worth. But what happens when time stops being something you live through and becomes something you live against? You start to experience time as a threat, something that's constantly running out. That's why you wake up already anxious. That's why you feel like you're falling behind in a race you never agreed to run. The attention economy's hidden cost. Time isn't your most limited resource anymore. Attention is. You can't manage time if your attention is constantly fragmented. And that's exactly how the digital world keeps you stuck. Every ping, every scroll, every urgent notification steals a fraction of your focus until you've spent your day reacting instead of living. Your mind gets pulled in 1,000 directions, and each switch leaves behind mental residue, what psychologists call attention residue. That's why even when you stop working, you can't stop thinking. You're never truly off. The result? You don't just run out of time, you run out of mental space. Time management advice tells you to plan your hours. But what you really need is to protect your mind. Because attention, not time, determines the quality of your life. The myth of caught up. You will never feel caught up. And that's not a failure, that's design. Modern society runs on perpetual dissatisfaction. If you ever felt done, you'd stop consuming, stop upgrading, stop striving. The system can't afford for you to feel complete. That's why there's always another email, another notification, another self-improvement goal. You're kept in a state of productive anxiety, busy enough to feel useful, but never peaceful enough to question the system. That's why burnout feels normal. That's why guilt shows up every time you rest. Because deep down, you've been conditioned to believe your value equals your output. But the truth is, you were never meant to keep up. You were meant to exist. The anxiety of efficiency. Efficiency is a double-edged sword. It makes things faster, but not necessarily better. You save 10 minutes here, 15 there, and what do you do with it? You fill it with more work. You optimize your morning routine, but feel even more anxious when you fall off for a day. You automate tasks, then add new ones. Productivity culture has turned life into a self-imposed assembly line. You are both the worker and the product. And no matter how efficient you get, you can't automate your way out of emptiness. Because peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from finally allowing yourself to do enough. The psychology of busyness. Busyness has become a badge of honor. We wear exhaustion like it's evidence of importance. Ask someone how they are, they'll say busy. It's the modern status symbol. But busyness is often just avoidance in disguise. We fill our schedules to avoid the discomfort of stillness. Because stillness forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I living for myself or for approval? It's easier to stay busy than to face those truths. So we build calendars that keep us safe from reflection and call it productivity. But the truth is, busyness is not success. It's disconnection. And the longer you stay in motion, the further you drift from meaning. The time management industry. Here's the irony. Time management itself became a product. Books, apps, courses, planners, a multi-billion-dollar industry selling the illusion of control. They promise clarity, but they sell perfectionism. They tell you that peace is one system away, and that if you fail to find it, you just need another system. It's the same psychological loop as any addiction. Temporary relief followed by deeper dependence. Because if time management actually worked, you'd stop buying the next productivity app. But the system can't profit from peace. It profits from your constant search for it. Redefining what enough means. You can't control time, but you can define enough. Time management tells you to do more. Meaning management asks, what actually matters? Instead of optimizing every second, start measuring your days by depth. Ask yourself, what moments felt alive? What tasks drained me? What would I keep doing even if no one saw it? Because the point isn't to do everything. It's to do what's meaningful, with intention. Once you define enough, your priorities become obvious. And that clarity is what actually creates peace. The art of time surrender. True peace doesn't come from mastering time. It comes from surrendering to it. You can't stretch hours. You can't pause moments. You can only choose how you meet them. When you stop treating time as an enemy, it starts to work with you, not against you. Flow, presence, deep work, calm, all live on the other side of surrender. Because the truth is, life isn't a race against time. It's a dance with it. And the goal isn't to manage it, it's to feel it. Practical freedom. So how do you escape the myth of time management? Here's where you start. Protect your focus like it's sacred. Schedule silence. Say no to noise. Let boredom rebuild your attention span. 2. Redefine productivity. Productivity isn't speed, it's alignment. You're not behind, you're just chasing things that don't matter. 3. Accept unfinished work. You will die with an unfinished to-do list. That's not failure, that's life. And life is not meant to be optimized. 4. Create margins. Don't fill every hour. Leave white space in your day, that's where peace lives. Because freedom doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from realizing you don't have to. The real value of time. Time is not money. Time is meaning. Money can be saved, borrowed, multiplied. Time can only be spent. And the way you spend it is the story you're writing, 1 hour at a time. So stop trying to catch up. You're not behind. You're just distracted from what matters. The most successful people aren't the busiest, they're the most present. And that's what time management was supposed to teach us. Not how to do more, but how to be here. Because in the end, time doesn't need to be managed. It just needs to be respected.